So this is week 2, day 15 after surgery. So I had my second follow up with the surgeon and my third PT appointment. So I did go on a impromptu trip to San Antonio last weekend, in which the highway is like being on the road for like 5 hours or so. I wasn't driving, obviously. My friend was driving. The road was fine, but there was a lot of speed bumps, so I had a lot of this action going on. So I did have a bit of a scare because I was kind of feeling this inferior dislocation slightly because my shoulder would pop front and down, right? That's like the section that it would pop out. And so did have a bit of a scare there. So instead of going to PT on Tuesday, I asked to come in Monday. Um, but they said everything's fine um, as long as it was just a short-term pain, and things are still healing. Obviously it didn't like fully come out or anything, but I only mentioned that just in case you have the same thing. Don't worry about it too much, listen to your doctors and stuff, but at the same time I understand it can be scary. Obviously with me having a first surgery, the same thing happened then, and I was really I was like, didn't seem right. I was a little concerned, told my surgeon. He said it was normal. Obviously, it wasn't normal. So, of course, I was kind of concerned this time too. But I'll get into that later. Anyway, what you're probably wanting to see is, what's range of motion looking like. This second follow up got the staples out so you can kind of see it. They put these little dressings on here, but as I tried taking my shirt off today, I got them today. Tried to take off the shirt off today. These were actually sticking to my shirt and they were just coming off. So I had to like separate them, and I just put like 2 band-aids over it to like keep it down and not sticking to the shirt. You can kind of see this scar. You kind of see these little ridges. That's from the staples. Um, Obviously next week these probably will come off, like because being in the shower and stuff, and they can see the whole thing. But excuse the shitty camera quality, but that's kind of what that looks like. I know I said that every week. I think I'll try to show the scar and show range of motion. So this is what I can go off the body. So, a little bit like kind of drastic of a difference, especially from last week, week 1. And then in terms of out in front of my body, just kind of use my left. Can't go too high, but it's something. I'm still kind of doing the awkward like this thing, but that's because that's where it's all the tissue is like that, right? So you saw the front, and then this is the back I was talking about, where it's pretty small. It's really nothing. And there were 2 staples there, but they took those out at the first follow up. So during week 1. So to give you a rundown, actually, I'll just get. These are some of the things I got from the surgeon today. So, like I said in the beginning, throughout this entire process, I'm trying to be as detailed as possible, show you guys everything, because there are 2 guys out there I saw on YouTube that do have like this Latarjet recovery kind of videos, but one of them, you'll see his name is Kip Pietratonio. So if you've already seen him, I watched some of his videos too, and he's like really detailed, has good stuff, but it's only from the first day to like the end of the first month. And then the other guy I saw, he has like a video, it's like from like week 1 and like I think week 2, and then all the way like 11 months later. So obviously, it's like you don't really see the in between. And so, I'm trying to be super detailed, hopefully get like at least like 1 a week, all the way to maybe even the 1 year mark. There's probably going to be a break in between once we get further and further. And like in the beginning here, it's going to be more kind of detailed, and it's, it's going to matter more because once I'm like 3-6 months, the changes will be more drastic over longer periods of time, obviously, and you'll have less and less restrictions. I've already been through all this once, right? But this is a more invasive, complicated surgery that hopefully actually, yields good results. But anyway, X-rays. This is what I got last week. So you can kind of see the screws right there. Okay, but it's like an angled view, so it's hard to really understand what you're looking at besides just seeing two screws. And then this week, so I actually saw my surgeon because last time I just saw the PA. You can see another view. I think this, shows the date, so I think it was taken at the first follow up, but it's just another view, and you can see the two screws, like the heads of them right there. And so he was showing this to show like now the humerus is properly sitting in the right position. Because like I said in the previous video, my humerus was a little, I think, down and slightly forward. But now and I don't know if you could tell, I can't really tell, but if my shoulders are more level, maybe not. Um, But those are the X-rays. I wish I had one from prior to surgery to show a side-by-side comparison. But I don't know if I got one. And if I do find it, I will try to show that in a later video for anyone who's curious. And then pictures. So these are from my actual surgery. Um, I'll try to avoid the glare here. So I'll try my best to explain. He explained it today, but of course, I don't know exactly what I'm looking at. But I believe this was prior to surgery, right? You can see where I previously had the repair, but it's retorn. And you can see here as well. And then these bottom ones, I don't think they're as relevant. He didn't really point to those at today's consult, so I don't understand what I was looking at fully. But yeah, I think here, see, like that's where the old sutures are. I believe this was prior, and then like this is afterwards. You kind of see it looks, just looks more whole, like it's just flat. And then the ones on the bottom just kind of irrelevant. So those are the pictures. Those are the X-rays. I already showed you the range of motion. And now I kind of just give you a rundown of like what the outlook looks like for PT. So, one thing I asked is like, so I kind of want to get into cutting hair and stuff. Like you might have noticed, I got my hair cut. I love getting haircuts. Love everything kind of about hair. So, I just started kind of cutting my roommate's hair. Like we just moved here in August, and so I did it a couple times. And so I was asking, when do you think I can like hold just like a small object? And obviously the range of motion will be kind of up here. And so just to give you an idea, first 6 weeks are going to be completely passive, meaning when you're with your PT, he or she is going to kind of move your arm for you. You're not going to be like doing this type of thing. Like, right, what I was doing earlier, I was just showing that just for visual demonstration purposes, but that's not something I'm going to be doing that much on my own. So my surgeon did say, and again, this is with Dr. Ashnan at BSW Health, so being out of the sling and moving might not be as quick for you. But if you do have him, he explained like there's a safe zone. I can be in this kind of safe zone, just don't go out here, right? So I can kind of move it up here, but like this kind of deal, not so much. And I can't even do that right now anyway. But with PT, physical therapist said, first 6 weeks passive, meaning, again, he's moving it for you. You're not putting stress on the joint because the first couple months are very much, recovery, like having everything heal. And then I think the 6 weeks after that, then you do active. Okay, so this is like 12 weeks. So meaning you're using your own body weight as kind of the strengthening. And then after like 10 to 12 weeks, that's when you use some sort of weight. Now, that's in PT. He did say that after 6 weeks or so, I can hold like 1 or 2 pounds, which would be the size of thing of clippers. But that's just kind of my specific scenario. And yeah, so 6 weeks passive, 6 weeks active, probably in between those 10 to 12 weeks, use some sort of weight in PT. I asked like how long is PT generally for this surgery. He said about like 4 to 5 months, which is a little bit longer than my first surgery, but honestly for me, more the better. I want everything as healed up and functional as possible. I would much rather do extra 1, 2, even 3 months of PT and be good for the rest of my life than not do it and then have issues, down the road. So yeah, 3 month mark is kind of healing and just movement, range of motion. 6 month mark, you're pretty much strengthened and ready to go. That's when you can start doing things. But like I said in the first video, I would aim to rather go light and then slowly get back into things. Like mentally, just think of this as an entire year. And then 9 months, 6 to 9 months, I don't think you're necessarily in physical therapy, but they will probably give you things to do on your own. And again, right now, technically, I'm supposed to do physical therapy exercises every day. It's just not going into the clinic every day, which to me, I actually wouldn't mind because I'm so very much want to, get this right. And then 9 month mark to 12 months, that's when things are still healing internally, but for the most part, you can do most things. You just want to be a little more careful than someone who has a fully functioning and healthy shoulder, right? So that's that. But then lastly, and I know this will be kind of another longer video, just because I had this experience today, I just want to let anyone know out there, like if you've had a lot of anxiety, like a lot of kind of stress, a lot of like, it feels like this damn shoulder is like ruining your life. I've been there. Trust me, I have been there. I've literally cried, because I'd been through years of disappointment and the tiniest of things, right, I can't do. And was told that I might not ever do some things. Like that. I know it definitely happened after when my shoulder popped out, right? Again in 2022, and it retore my labrum, right? Definitely really bad day, really frustrating. At that point, it had been like 4 years of dealing with this shit. Like, it was rough. But I just want to let you know, like, you're not alone. Like, I totally understand. Like, this thing has brought me to the brink of like I didn't even know you could get that far low. And of course, there's other things going on that can compound on it. But even just this by alone, like I totally understand if it really feels like, man, this shit's just making me miserable, ruining my life, all that. And some people will say, "Oh, be grateful for all those things." It's like, and I've done that stuff. I get it. Yes, there are things. It's not the end of the world. Like you can do other things, all that stuff. But when you have chronic pain, when you can't even, lift up a box, especially when you're young, you got to worry about 50, 60 year olds that are more able than you are, and your condition might just get worse and worse. It probably will get worse unless there's some intervention. It's rough. And with that whole issue with the in the car, I kind of told my surgeon, and again, Krishnan is probably great. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's very confident when he's done, but I don't know that, right? I don't know for certainty until it happens. And I kind of told him, and he's like, just don't be anxious, don't worry about it, it's all good. See, it's fixed, everything. But if you feel frustrated, if you feel just very nervous, it's like, I understand, I get it. um and it's like I had it in my first surgery, so of course my current surgeon, he was like, that's in the past, I don't know. All I know is that this science, everything works. But it's really hard to be comfortable when you don't know what the future looks like, especially if you had bad experiences. And so I just want to let like I get it. I've been there. It's really, really tough. And just because other people might have it worse, it doesn't mean that it lessens your struggle at all, and doesn't validate your pain. But, kind of leaving on a somber note. But anyway, just want to say thanks for watching. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, please ask. And, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.